Sedans were your default bada gadi, the car that signified you had arrived. But now compact crossover SUVs are all the rage. But one brand that has been proudly flying that sedan flag for over 25 years, almost 25 years, has been Honda with the City. That's the 5th generation of the City, and it's just been updated. Too soon, you ask? Well, it was actually launched back in 2020. Yes, that year that we all want to forget. And that's almost 3 years ago now. So with that update, what has changed in that package? What does the City give you now? And have Honda done enough to keep it relevant in that sea of SUVs? If you're someone who notices patterns, well then this bit is going to be familiar. Slight change to the chrome, slight change to the bumper, slight change to the grille. If you're not someone who notices patterns, then I'll get into a little more details. This chrome strip has become a little slimmer. This bumper has a cutout over here now, and you have a honeycomb grille and a nice cross-hatched grille below that. That's about all the changes to the front. The side profiles have changed little, with just a new design to the 16-inch alloy wheels and new bumpers sticking out a little more than before. At the rear, the changes are similarly subtle. So you do get the same taillight cluster, but you do get this body-colored boot lip, and on the bottom of this sporty variant, you get this nice carbon fiber element on the bottom of the bumper. The facelift hasn't changed the City's overall appeal too much. And since the 5th generation car was launched during a really sketchy sales period, there aren't too many of this new shape on the roads either. And that means it still has great road presence. I especially like it in darker colors, like this new obsidian blue pearl. So we switched cars now, and now we are in the hybrid City. Few changes from the previous variant, from the first variant of the 5th gen, and one of those is this carbon fiber trim on the dash and piano black accents both around the AC vents and on the steering wheel as well. Aside from that, the touchscreen has been updated. It's a clearer, brighter display. There are two background themes as well, theme colors to that. Another change is ambient lighting, and that's only in the door handles and the bottle holder compartment. The City is still polished and plush on the inside, so nice soft materials on the armrests, the door pads and the steering wheel, but the dash is still mostly hard plastics. You do get a little bit of leather trim here as well. You do get cup holders, but there's a bit of a caveat with that with the petrol car, and we'll show you that right now. In the petrol car, the cup holders share space with the new wireless charger. So when you are enjoying a cup of joe in the morning, the wireless charger will have to be tucked away somewhere. Honda says the glove box. In the hybrid car, the wireless charger is integrated behind the gear lever, and the cup holders are always available. In terms of features, the City is really well equipped with lots of creature comforts and up-to-date tech, including wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, as well as powerful connected car tech that's smartwatch compatible as well. Other practical bits is there's good storage all around. There are USB charge ports in the front, but in the rear seats there are only 12-volt sockets. And another miss, no ventilated seats yet. So as you can see, headroom is a bit lacking, though there's plenty of legroom in the back here. You have a drop-down armrest, and it still rests on the bottom of the seat, so it could have been a little higher to match with the door pad. So if you're a tall person, for reference, I'm 5'9.5", almost 5'10", and it's a little tight for me. I do have my individual AC vents and only, like I mentioned before, a 12-volt power socket. Other than that, comfortable, and you should be able to fit 3 in a pinch as well. So the Honda City has always done a lot of things right for that owner who really loves to be behind the wheel. So you get a nice driving position, the steering feels great, there's just a little bit of weight to it. It's still the great driver's car that it always was, and nothing's changed with this update as well, because very little has changed in terms of the drivetrains. So Honda have actually made ADAS a feature usually available in just the top tier cars, so just the top or maybe even the top 2 variants of a particular brand and model usually get ADAS, but now this is a feature that almost every city owner is going to experience. And this is how it works. Called Honda Sensing, the city's ADAS is a camera-based system that gives you features like collision mitigated braking, that auto brakes in case it detects a collision with an object in front of the car. It also has a road departure system that keeps you within your lane by giving steering inputs if needed, and this is similar to the lane keeping assist feature as well. It also features adaptive cruise control, and that keeps you a safe distance from the car in front of you and accelerates and brakes according to its speed as well. Though the minimum distance is still quite conservative, and this means that with our kind of traffic, you'll find other motorists cutting into the gap that the system leaves between you and the car in front. It also has an auto high beam feature to prevent you from blinding oncoming motorists. It will even alert you when a car in front of you pulls away from a stop, like when you are stopped at a stoplight. Let's talk about ride quality again. And this update for the Honda City again has not changed anything dynamically. It's still the great, comfortable city car that it always was. So very comfortable at city speeds, and even when you get up to higher speeds, the car stays stable, takes care of small undulations, smaller bumps, and imperfections in the road fairly well. You still do have to be a little careful, go a little slower over bigger bumps like speed breakers. If you go over them a little too fast, the suspension still tends to crash a little bit. Ground clearance though, no issues over speed breakers, potholes, anything. So great city car and quite comfortable in all 4 seats. Honda have increased the price of all the variants by around 50,000 rupees with this update. But they have also introduced a base SV trim that packs in a lot of standard features but only gets a manual option and no ADAS. The rest of the models though are very well spec'd as well and offer the choice of manuals or an automatic, and all have ADAS. The hybrid is also now available at a lower price point in a new V trim as well. So the Honda City gives you quite a bit of choice. Smooth automatics in all but that base SV trim, and even the option of a hybrid. If the hybrid though is the only draw that you have towards the city, then you may want to also check out the Hyrider and even the Grand Vitara for their lower entry price point. Still, the City is the great polished all-rounder that it always was. Great to drive, comfortable and spacious, and packing an expansive feature set as well. And it's still the deserved flag bearer for all those sedan fans out there. If you're looking for a cool sedan, definitely give this a hard look. But don't finalize that decision until you check out the new Hyundai Verna, which is due out in a couple of weeks' time.